What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. WWE Off The Script number 72, part number 1, to start your 4th of July weekend off the right fucking way, man. This is without question the undisputed number 1 source for all WWE right here on YouTube.com. And now I can officially say, and I'm proud to say, you guys can now represent that number 1 source with fucking beautiful looking t-shirts courtesy of ProWrestlingTees.com, man. Go and get yours today. I need to sell 25 of them motherfuckers in the first month to keep that store open. So if you love what I do here, if you're an avid fan of Off The Script, represent by buying the first official piece of merchandise that I have to offer you right here on YouTube.com, man. Huge shout out to the guys over at ProWrestlingTees.com. Their service is fucking bar none, out without a doubt, fucking unbelievable, man. They've been so helpful in me getting this shit off the ground. Their customer service getting back to you is beautiful, man. Their artists getting back to you, beautiful. Unbelievable fucking company, man. ProWrestlingTees.com/WWE Off The Script. And an even bigger shout out to my boy Chad, more famously known on Twitter as Wicked Be Rotten, man. He is the one that designed that fucking logo on that t-shirt that you guys are going to purchase. And I want to give you guys the opportunity to thank him for designing the logo for the first official WWE Off The Script t-shirt. I'm going to leave his link to his Twitter down below. Go and show him some love, man, because without him, those t-shirts wouldn't even exist, man. So thank you so much for all your continued love and support. I hope to see you all wearing the first official Off The Script t-shirt, man. Go and get yours today, all right? Now, getting right into the news, guys. Not a lot of news on 4th of July, being that it is 4th of July, so I do have some pieces of information for you. And I'm going to start off with something that several goons on YouTube are now reporting, but I brought you this information 3 weeks ago, man. For the first time ever, before anybody else, I brought you this information. So what I'm about to read to you is nothing more than an update as to what I already reported, man. Everybody else is getting it for the first time, reporting it late. So don't believe anybody except what you hear right here on Off The Script. But according to reports, new reports I should say, WWE CEO Vince McMahon has reportedly already booked 6 matches for WrestleMania 32, which will take place, as you all know, at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas on April 3rd, 2016. As previously reported, McMahon and company will look to book huge matchups to try and sell out that stadium, equipped with household names such as The Rock, The Undertaker, Triple H, and Sting. Dave Meltzer of F4W Online claims that Vince McMahon already has 6 matches penciled in, if not penned, down for the card. While some outside influences may throw a wrench into McMahon's plans, he is actively trying to secure these matches in stone for the event. It's notable that Daniel Bryan is not in consideration for WrestleMania 32 at this very moment, as the company doesn't even know if he will be able to ever wrestle again. Also notable is that the assumed Undertaker versus Sting match, teased mercilessly by WWE over the last 10 months, is not being considered for WrestleMania, which begs to question, what do you have planned for The Undertaker? More importantly, what do you have planned for Sting? I don't think it makes sense to put them against other WWE superstars. It makes sense to put them together in one match. But let me continue on. Dave Meltzer writes, and I quote, Vince McMahon already has the top of the card in his head, 6 matches deep for next year's WrestleMania. We don't know much about it other than Bryan isn't figured in those plans right now because there is no telling if or when he'll be wrestling again. The other match that we're being told, Dave Meltzer's being told, right now is not happening is The Undertaker versus Sting. At this point, Vince is negative on the match. Again, I don't know why Vince would be negative on that match. Triple H versus Sting wasn't the greatest match of all time, but it was damn near entertaining, man. It was an entertaining fucking match. Not the way I would have booked it. It was cheesily booked with fucking outside interference from DX and the NWO, and it had the whole WCW versus WWE theme. It was great, man. It was a nostalgia match, but the match itself was great. Sting looked fantastic. Triple H has been looking fantastic. So I don't see why Vince McMahon would be negative on a Sting versus Undertaker match. Undertaker looked the best he's looked in years at this year's WrestleMania. So I don't know what Vince McMahon is thinking. I don't know what's going through his head. I think he is more concerned about these two old-timers, these two legends, these two beasts, not putting on a match worthy of their names. Sting versus The Undertaker. Listen, fans want to see it. Fans want to see just those two men in the ring, man. They don't give a shit what happens in the ring. Just to see those two men going to battle one-on-one at WrestleMania, at the biggest event in WWE history with the largest attendance ever. I think that's all people want to see, man. Vince has got to book it, and it needs to happen. That's all I'm going to say about that, all right? That's what needs to happen, all right? Sting is not a retired wrestler, and there are plans for him, so it's not like WrestleMania was a one and done this year for Sting. Sting is also a possibility for the Hall of Fame, maybe a very good one, given that he lives near Dallas. Cena's match for next year is said to be a lock, but I don't know who his opponent is. The main event is either going to be The Rock and Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie, or two singles matches, or just The Rock versus Triple H. Should not be the main event whatsoever. The WWE Championship should be the main event. Or if you're going to have a retirement match for Sting and The Undertaker, and that's going to be it for them, that should go on last, okay? It's a weird situation, and one that Vince McMahon can't really like, that Rock and Dana White are actually in more control of the main event than Vince and Triple H, even though it's Triple H's match. Money talks. Dana White's not going to say a goddamn fucking word. I do expect Rousey to be at WrestleMania in some capacity. Whether she's going to be wrestling, I don't know. Completely up to Dana White, but money talks, man. Money talks. Not sure where Lesnar fits in, but obviously his match is also figured in. They've protected Lesnar ever since Triple H beat him with the idea that it was set up a third match between the two. So Reigns beating Lesnar would still be the ultimate win to kick off Reigns as a top WWE superstar on paper. Jim Ross has been avidly saying that Seth Rollins should hold the title till WrestleMania, and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania on that night finally get his revenge and reclaim that one prize that was stolen from him unceremoniously at WrestleMania 32, where Lesnar would defeat Seth Rollins, take down the villainous heel, and again, we have the age of Lesnar. That's what he wants, and I don't think that's a bad idea, to be quite honest with you. In reality, that's a tough deal because Reigns will be booed heavily against Lesnar unless they're able to manipulate the crowd, which I do not see happening because that's a WrestleMania crowd, and kicking off the super face run by being booed out of the building in the title win and having the crowd reject it isn't the best dynamic. But the current Wyatt, anyone but you program could be one that Wyatt's role against Reigns will be the long-term career adversary who tries to keep Reigns from getting the title even if Reigns beats him over and over again in their singles matches. WWE has apparently already contacted WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels to appear at the show in some capacity, as well as WWE Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin. It will be interesting to see how the company books the biggest WrestleMania of all time between now and April 3rd, 2016, man. It's going to be quite interesting indeed. All right. I also have news on Dolph Ziggler, guys, just to, follow up on this Dolph Ziggler situation. He's signed, he's not signed, he's fucking teasing the fans. According to new reports, former World Heavyweight Champion Dolph Ziggler and WWE are still negotiating a new contract and nothing has been signed yet. PWInsider.com recently reported that Ziggler had re-signed a multi-year deal with the company, but this is apparently not the case. Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com and the Wrestling Observer newsletter claimed that as of July 1st, Ziggler has yet to sign the dotted line on a new WWE deal. Instead, he's made a counter-offer to the company in hopes that they'll give him a sweeter deal. Meltzer writes, in an update on Ziggler, he said that he is still not signed his new deal with WWE. He was given an offer a few weeks ago, and when he didn't sign it, it opened up a lot of speculation. The belief is that he is still going to stay with WWE. He first said in a Boston Herald interview on the subject, "I feel like I started here, so I should end my career here. I feel like they like having me around and I love working here, so it would be really hard to just walk away." He did an interview on the Chad Dukes radio show in Washington, D.C. and said that, "I'm thinking about it right now. I had a request for an upcoming contract that would end," I think he meant begin, "a few months from now, maybe 2 or 3 months from now, and they requested back what they would be like. I counted another offer, and we're waiting to finalize some things. I love WWE, and I can't picture myself wrestling somewhere else, but it's also becoming now where that Wednesday and Thursday, I can't just do that and get some outside live events for comedy and different movie and television options, which would only be to promote myself as a WWE superstar, to make myself a bigger star so that I can advance more in WWE. So if I can't find that happy medium, I might have to get away for a little bit. What I want to do is make myself a bigger asset to WWE. It involves leaving. If it involves leaving, that would crush me, but I just might have to do that." So Ziggler has yet to resign a new deal. It looks like that he's leaning more towards signing a new deal. All these reports going out saying that Ziggler's going to TNA, Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground, that he's going to make more money in the independent scene. I reported it all, guys. You know, he's staying, he's going, he's staying, he's going. And then, obviously, PW Insider, we all got our information mistakenly wrong. And I reported here that Ziggler resigned. Everybody's saying that he resigned, but according to Dave Meltzer, he has yet to sign the dotted line for a new WWE deal. It's this close. He gave them a counter offer, and he's awaiting WWE to finalize that in hopes that he would get a sweeter deal than the original one that they had offered him, man. So Ziggler right now hasn't signed yet. It's not official. If it does become official, when it becomes official, I will definitely let you guys know right here on Off the Script. But my gut feeling says that Dolph Ziggler stays with the WWE. There's no other place where he could go to get that type of notoriety, and you know, with his comedy and all this other stuff that he wants to do, movies, television. WWE is going to make Dolph Ziggler the bigger star that he already is. And hopefully they give him a sweeter deal to the point where we can see him more on WWE television in a more important role. Title wins, title matches, main events, pay-per-view headlining. Ziggler deserves it, man. He goes out there, busts his ass, and I explained this already on my last video. He busts his ass, man. A lot of people like seeing Ziggler in the ring. They like what he represents. We can click with him. We can, you know, get behind him simply because he's one of those underdog characters, man. He's not the prototypical WWE type. You know, he doesn't have the body of a Batista. He's not a fucking huge guy. But he's just down and dirty, a fucking solid wrestler, man. And that's what we want to see. This is the day and age where we want to see solid wrestling, man. We want to see guys who, you know, aren't the typical WWE superstar like the John Cena. We like guys overcoming the odds and fucking giving us their blood, their sweat, and their tears. That's what Ziggler represents, man. It's easy to get behind someone like that. That's why Daniel Bryan was so successful in his run before he went down with all these injuries, man. It's easy to get behind someone like those guys because they represent us, man. The general public, man. The hardworking individuals. The 9 to 5, no pun intended. You know, people who go out there and bust their ass week after week after week, you know, to put food on the table and fucking try and be as successful as they can be, man. Ziggler represents all of us, so that's why it's easy for us to get behind him. And we want to see him succeed, and hopefully WWE, you know, gives him, finally, what he deserves, man. I'm done. Thank you guys so much for watching WWE Off The Script, man. This is part 1. Tomorrow, 4th of July, man, I got news on WWE Monday Night Raw having the lowest ratings ever for their show this year. I think it's the lowest ratings ever. So what does that mean? Is Vince McMahon finally going to make changes? Reports are out there. Vince might be making some massive changes. What are they? I got it for you tomorrow. www.prowrestlingtees.com/WWE Off The Script. Go get your official shirt today. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Twitter at JD4MNY206, and I'll see you guys for part 2 of WWE Off The Script. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you later.